when all of a sudden, a really nice buck showed up. He came in from nowhere. I threw the rifle up and I thought, I just hope he gives me an opportunity. I hope I get that little narrow of a window where I can thread that needle. Turns out he went straight for the key wick.
I'll tell you what, I have been trying to figure out how I'm going to do this, and he stopped literally right under the key wick. Right under the key wick. And I shot him. The only shot I had was a neck shot, period. That is a beautiful buck. Absolutely beautiful. And I'll bet you he fell right next to the key wick. He just showed up. He was walking off. I stopped him and smoked him. Holy smokes, what a beautiful buck. Oh man, look at that. What a beautiful buck. Goodness, look at him. Look how tall he is and massive. I mean, look at the mass. He's all gnarly down here. Got a little cheater. He's just really a mainframe 8-point, but golly, what a beautiful buck. And I mean, I shot him right there in the neck. It's really the only shot I had. I mean, he came in and he stopped right here. I don't know if he was walking by here or whatever. I hollered at him, he stopped right here. And I knew that scrape was here. And I smoked him, and I had no idea that he was gonna fall right next to the scrape, literally right next to it. But take a look at that deer. That deer is probably all of about 210, 220 pounds. He's a really big body deer for up here in Saskatchewan. And Lance Miller's got some unbelievable hunting up here. If you'd like more information on hunting the provincial forest with Lance Miller, Lance has got, also he owns Woody River trophy hunts. But if you want to come up here in the provincial forest, give Lance a call. He does a limited number of forest hunts every year. You can get a hold of him and he'll be happy to help you out. And this right here is a really good deer for the forest. I mean, you know, years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, the genetics up here were unbelievable. But people have shot the genetics out for years and years. And so this right here is an exceptional deer for the forest. The one that Brad took is an exceptional deer. And what this is, I'm glad that I shot this, because literally this is the kind of deer that you don't want to have do the breeding. And the reason why is because he's just a mainframe 8-point. The one Brad shot was a nice deer to take too. Boy, I'm happy with him. Now I got to get him tagged and get him out of here.
All my life I wanted to have a piece of property. It was my piece of property, you know, ever since I was a little bitty guy. And so when I got to the point in my adult life that I could afford to buy a piece of property, we did. And this is it. And for me, this is like, this is where I long to be all during hunting season. Well, all year, to be honest with you. But during hunting season, I can't be here often. The reason why is because I'm off on the road doing the television show. You know, I'm in Alaska, or I'm in Mexico, or Canada. I'm all over the place. But the place that I'm really not, that I really want to be, is right here at Texas Hidden Springs Ranch.
FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination, presents The High Road with Keith Warren.
We hunt for different reasons, but it's more than just the kill. First off, I'm grateful to be an American, to live in a country that still has country like this. It's about the experience, freedom, passion, and adventure. I'm Keith Warren, and like you, I live for the hunt. There's something about being a landowner that until you become a landowner, you really don't understand what I'm talking about. It's a connection that you have, a responsibility that you have to take care of the land, not just for you and for your family, but for future generations, people that aren't even born yet. We want to leave the land in better shape than the way we found it, and so the challenge is, and me competing against Mother Nature, is I want to be able to see what I can do on this piece of property and kind of compare it to the way it was before I bought the piece of property.
All right, this is one of our supplemental feeding stations. I'll tell you more about it in a minute, but I want to talk to you about supplemental feeding. You know, people always ask me, why do you want a supplemental feed? Well, the reason why is because Mother Nature can be really, really cruel at times. And when Mother Nature is cruel, well, guess what? There's not a lot of natural forage for the deer. You know, here on our ranch, we've been supplemental feeding for close to 20 years now. We started out with record rack, and we still feed record rack today for many, many reasons. But the primary reason is because this piece of property didn't have a lot of good deer food on it. The deer density was low when we got it. The quality of the deer was poor when we got it. And we've changed all that up because what we've done, we've focused on nutrition and a good wildlife management plan. A big question is, people say, well, how long does it take before, once you start supplemental feeding, before you find results, before you can actually see and know results? Well, the truth is, in order to get results, you've got to have data. You got to know where you are now. Just like if you have a road map, you're going to travel across the country, you need to know where you're going to start, and then you need to gauge where you are from where you started. And so before you start any kind of a supplemental feeding program, I would encourage you to get a lot of data on your deer herd. What you want to do is you want to take down the age and the weight and the sex of every deer that's harvested. That'll give you a good gauge of where you are to begin with. So I encourage you, once you establish your wildlife management program and a supplemental feeding program, stick to it long enough so you can measure your results.
As a land manager, we want to use all the tools that are available to us to do the best job that we can. You know, and here's a tool right here. Okay, this tool right here helps us with the insect problem. Hey, say hi to everybody. Helps us with the insects and the snakes and the mice and everything else. I mean, when we wind up, we think about it as a land manager. You know, you've got peaks and valleys. I mean, sometimes it can rain. That's seldom out here, but like this last summer, we had a lot of rain. I mean, a lot of rain. And so the place greened up very nicely. Most of the time, we don't get rain, and it's pretty doggone dry, and it's for that reason that we have to put out supplemental feed. But you know, the deal is, as a land manager, we have to adapt to the conditions that we have at the time, and that we need to take care of the place the best that we can. And so when it comes time to, you know, to grow the best deer herd that we can, we want to monitor it. Okay, we use game cameras all the time, and that means 12 months out of the year. We wind up using thermal vision during the summer. We'll wind up, one of the cool things about thermal is that we can go out because the antlers are all engorged with blood. When you take a look at them, at a buck, during the summertime, the antlers just show up like they're neon. They're beautiful. And so as you scan the brush and you're looking to see deer, well, the deer pop out, yeah, but boy, do the antlers ever pop out. And so what happened is, as we manage properly and we have the equal number of young deer, middle-aged deer, and mature deer, what happens is that we have to take animals out. And my schedule keeps me away from the place a lot, and so we open it up to sell some hunts. Not many hunts, but we sell enough hunts just to pay the feed bill. And so we don't pressure the animals much, but we sell enough hunts to be able to keep the numbers at exactly where we want it, so we have the equal number of young, middle-aged, and mature animals. And so we're going to start out this season with Rick Filippi. Rick contacted me back in the summer and he said, hey, do you think that can you work in one more hunter? I'm looking for a really big deer. I want a pretty deer. That's one of the things that people want when they come here. They don't really care about score. They care about look. And so he said, do you think you've got an opportunity to work somebody in early in the season? I said, it just so happens we can get you in on opening weekend.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Rick Comics, 10X High Performance Hunting Gear, Legendary Arms Works, Sightmark, Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%. And Tannerite. The High Road will be right back.
We're on a special permit program from the Texas Parks and Wildlife. It's called the Managed Land for Deer program. We're level 3, the highest level you can get. And that allows us to hunt during the archery season with rifles. And so what we wind up doing, we try to start hunting during the archery season with archery gear. The reason to do archery early is that, man, the deer get smart in a hurry. I mean, early in the season, the deer are still on their summer pattern. Okay, they've become hard antlered probably for about a month, maybe 6 weeks, but they're on the food source real easy. And so they're pretty predictable. And so for an archer, that's really the best time that we found to go after the big deer.
Hey guys, I'm here at the Texas Hidden Springs Ranch. Had a great time. I'll tell you, we've just seen a ton of deer, and I'm talking quality deer. One of the first things I did when I got here was shoot my bow. I just wanted to make sure that all my sights were on and everything, because when you go out there to hunt, you know you are going to be taking a life. So I just wanted to make sure all my equipment was working. I think what makes this place so unique is the fact that there's just no pressure here. Keith doesn't run many hunters through here. That's what brought me here. And I got to tell you, you'll see some monster bucks.
Yeah, I wound up years ago. I said I was never going to have anything out here except whitetail deer because I love whitetail deer. But you know what? Black buck are beautiful. They are beautiful, and they don't compete at all with the whitetail deer. So we wound up, we brought a few black buck out, and then all of a sudden now we got a lot of black buck out here.
You know, coming right up the road, it looks like a pretty nice buck. Yeah, he's a pretty deer. See, I told you there's bucks in here. I believe you. We have a couple. Here comes a big deer. Another one. 10 o'clock, way over. You can see his white. There's 2 of them, but he's a nice one. There's 2 of them. There's one to his. Yeah, there's another one behind him. Yep, I see it. Yep. That's a cool deer, though. Yep. There's a new buck. Check that buck out over there. The back one. Yeah, there's one. He looks halfway decent. Oh, it's a monster. It is? Yeah. There's a monster over there. It looks like a real good deer. I can't see that.
You know, the cool deal about it is that on the hunt with Rick, I had a change in my schedule, which allowed me to be here during the hunt. And you know, we take literally tens of thousands of game cam pics on our Reconyx cameras every single season. And this one particular buck, I had never seen him during the daytime. Never. And so I'm filming, okay? I get to sit in the blind and I get to enjoy it. I mean, I can't begin to tell you how fulfilling it is for me to sit there and be able to look at these deer and go, this is the way it is because of me and my family and our commitment to doing the best that we can. So anyway, I'm sitting there looking at Rick, and all of a sudden Godzilla comes walking out. I mean, here's this deer we have only seen on pictures on the game cameras, and all of a sudden he's standing right in front of us.
After making the shot, Keith and I came back to camp to grab some.
Your online ammunition destination. The High Road will be right back. Tannerite Binary Reactive Rifle Targets presents viewer feedback.
All right, this question is from a viewer in Florida. His name is Bill Matson. It's about thermal vision. It says, do you think it's fair to use state-of-the-art equipment for hog hunting? If so, why? I don't see why so many people want to get their hands on thermal units. Bill, the reason why people want to get their hands on thermal units is because they're probably one of the most cool units there is to do hunts. If you live in Florida, just like I live in Texas, you've got a problem with feral hogs over there. Feral hogs are really, really smart. Well, I encourage everybody, if you've got feral hogs, make sure it's legal, and if it's legal, hunting them with thermal gear is absolutely as good as it can get. It allows you to really kind of turn the tables on hogs. You can go in there at night in the cover of darkness and you can even it up real quick. So why do so many people want to use them? Because it's really a cool device. It's very effective, and yes, I think it is very ethical to do it. And so as far as the question goes, do I think it's fair? Absolutely it's fair. Okay, so tell me what happened.
Anyway, we were sitting in the stand and boy, the deer were just pouring in from all over. And all evening we had a real nice buck over here, nice management buck. Kept looking up to the east of us here, up in the timber for like an hour. Kept thinking, man, there's gotta be something up there. Finally, closer to dark, this monster comes out of the woods. And I tell you, I mean, he just looked like a man amongst boys. When those big bucks come out, I mean, it's just a different deal. He gave me a pretty good quarter away shot, and I shot him, and here's the arrow, and we're gonna go look for him right now, and my heart's beating 100 miles an hour. We got blood back here, and I found a drop right there. You got blood? You do? A little more? Yep. Yep. Oh my gosh! Yes, baby! Yes! I turned 62 years old next year. I've deer hunted since I was 13. I've killed over 120 deer with my bow. This is the best deer I've ever killed in my life. Oh my word. Thank you, dear Lord. Oh my gosh, guys. Man, I mean, look at that deer. Look at that deer. Is that not awesome?
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And Keith Warren, thank you. Guys, I tell you, Keith has a fantastic place to hunt here. And the one reason I came here to hunt with Keith is I know that he doesn't overhunt his place. A lot of these people run hunters in and out, in and out, in and out. And he doesn't run many trophy hunts. And I mean, this is the kind of deer you have a chance at killing. I mean, unbelievable. My old buddy Bob here, we stuck it out the first 2 or 3 hunts. I don't think we seen a buck, and then they just turned on. They turned on.
That cold front changed things quite a bit.
Beautiful. Golly.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's a buck of a lifetime.
It is. Beautiful deer. Thank you, thank you. Wow.
Rick had taken a beautiful deer, and I was really happy too. I mean, we got to get it on video, and I got to experience that with him. But one thing that we try to take early in the season are management deer. And management deer to us are 3-year-old deer or older that have 8 points or more. They could have 10 or 12 points, but they're just not genetically what we want to breed. And so we try to get them out early in the season before the rut starts. Again, early in the season, they're very predictable, and we want to target those deer and get them out of the herd. Dean's a guy that's been watching me on television for a long time, and he called up, he says, hey, I'd really like to come. And he's from Pennsylvania, so he and his wife came down here, and I said, I think you're going to be impressed.
Corey, it's not a good angle. You got to get him broadside, all right? Okay, wait till he gets you a good shot. Give him time. If he stopped with it. Down. Good job.
Thanks, brother. Beautiful buck. Here at Texas Hidden Springs Ranch. Beautiful morning, beautiful buck.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by PyramidAir.com, Liberty Safe, Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%, Castle Rock Outfitters, and OpticsPlanet.com. The High Road will be right back.
All right, so we've got a couple of really nice deer down, and a few weeks go by, and then I've got another hunter shows up, and Jamie's a buddy of mine. Jamie's hunt is taking place in November. The leaves are starting to fall off. It's getting a little bit cooler. It's feeling more like, well, it's feeling more like hunting season.
Maddie and Keith and I went to the blind yesterday and knew we had some activity out there, and we were just waiting on some daylight, and it started coming in, and I mean, we had, you know, does and bucks coming in, and this one came in, and first thing caught my eye, he had a kicker hanging off the side of it. That's a nice buck. I can't tell the whole age and all that stuff, but I kept my eye on him. He was right out in front of us, and we had a black buck that came in and immediately started making a scrape and you know, urinating in it. Sat and watched that. A couple of them started sparring a little bit. It was just a lot of stuff that I've never, you know, had the opportunity to experience before. And there was a couple big ones that came in, and Keith got a little sidetracked, and I never lost focus. And I kept kind of asking, you know, what do you think about this one? Is this one, you know, doable or what have you?
And I mean, he is gorgeous. And he's a little bit bigger than probably most management deer, like way bigger than most management deer. But, you know, I'm with Jamie, and I want Jamie to have a good time, and I want to make Jamie's hunt special. So I kind of bumped Jamie up to a trophy hunt. Finally, I give Jamie the cue. It's like, why don't you go ahead and just shoot him if you like him.
Don't get in a hurry at all.
I know. We waited about 5 minutes too long.
Yeah, it's okay. We're fine. We're gonna be fine.
Well, at that time, it looked like this in my scope, and he reared his head up and just got out enough to where I could take a shot.
There's something.
I've got about 4 or 5 little grass twigs.
If you think you can do it, do it.
I'm popping. He's too good. Fire in the hole.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Don't hold still. Hold still. I want to get him going down. Holy.
My beat just went down.
Yeah, that's him trying. He got back in the brush back there and started working that tree, and he got in a little deep, and I didn't think I had a shot at him, but I think I saw his head rear up after we touched it off. So
Oh, he definitely did. I know you closed your eyes
closed
because
my
you were
eyes.
so excited, but
I
it
put
was.
my head back because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
He made me wait too long.
I'm notorious for doing that.
He's right there. Look at the white belly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's blood all over.
Look at this, man. He freaking drove it in the ground.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I mean, look at all this trash on him. You could count those too.
Look how long his beams are.
I know.
That's just,
I mean, that's amazing. I just can't get over that.
look at that. What goes into the health of these deer? It's just absolutely incredible what goes on behind the scenes. In fact, that's probably what I've learned the most out of this trip is not really the, you know, the big bucks, and that's kind of what you focus on when you jump off the airplane. But after seeing the operation, it's kind of a story I don't think that's told quite a bit enough. And when you sit in that blind and you look out in the field, you see very, very quickly that the health and the management and the care and attention that are given to these animals is some serious business. And so anyway, and you get to be with the legend Keith, so that was fun as well.
As a landowner, I look back at every deer season that we have, and I reminisce about what we've done, how far we've taken it over the period of time that we've had the piece of property. I think about the memories that we've made, and we call it the joy of the hunt. You can go lots of different places and shoot big deer. That's no big deal anymore, okay? But you can't go to lots of places and have a big time. And that's why we call it the joy of the hunt. We want people to come out here that really enjoy the joy of the hunt, that they realize that there's more to hunting than just getting a tape measure and scoring your deer. It's all about camaraderie, friendship, connection with nature and with each other. And so as a landowner, when I reflect upon every season, I say, I want to make it better next year than it was last year. And every year we do make it better. If you'd like more information about hunting opportunities with us at the Texas Hidden Springs Ranch, you can look us up on our website at texashidden-springs-ranch.com.
everybody, welcome to the show into eastern Saskatchewan, where it is mid-November and the white-tailed deer should be in the rut. But we got a couple of problems. We've got a full moon and it's unseasonably warm. And the whitetails, according to the game camera, are a no-show.
FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination, presents The High Road with Keith Warren.
We hunt for different reasons, but it's more than just the kill.
First off, I'm grateful to be an American, to live in a country that still has country like this.
It's about the experience, freedom, passion, and adventure. I'm Keith Warren, and like you, I live for the hunt.
Saskatchewan is one of my favorite places to hunt, period. And the reason why is because the country is big. I've been coming to this area of Saskatchewan for 20 years, chasing after big black bear and some of the biggest white-tailed deer anywhere. This area was once known for producing more Boone and Crockett black bears and bucks than any other area of the province. And for me personally, it's been one of the most consistent producers of great animals as we produce our television shows and our online hunting videos.
Do I love Keith Warren or what? Look at this thing.
Holy smokes.
Look at that. You've got to be kidding me. Look at that giant.
That was the big bear.
I honestly don't know how many years I have been coming here. I'd have to really give that some serious thought because I've been coming so long.
You come back every year?
I come back every year, absolutely, and I want to come back every year for the rest of my life. I love it. Joining me on today's adventure is my friend, Brad Steele.
This is a memory of a lifetime for me.
Yes! Thank you, Lord. Yes! Good shot, my friend.
Perfect! Perfect!
That was good! Oh, he's down! Ah! Nice! My name is Brad Steele from South Carolina. This is my first opportunity to come up to Saskatchewan and hunt whitetail. I've been here for bear, but when Keith called me and said, hey, I've got an opportunity for us to hunt together, I jumped right on the plane, booked my ticket.
The odds of taking home a monster Canadian buck.
My name is Lance Miller. I'm a professional guide in Saskatchewan, Canada. Keith's been hunting with me for many years. He's brought rifles, bows, crossbows, but I have never seen something he brought this year.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Reconyx, 10X high-performance hunting gear, Legendary Arms Works, Sightmark, Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%, and Tannerite. Tannerite Binary Reactive Rifle Targets presents viewer feedback.
This one is from Jennifer. She says, hey Keith, what is the smallest caliber of big game rifle that you would recommend for whitetail deer? Jennifer, that's a good question. I'd recommend at least a 243. And some people out there may be thinking 243, that's kind of small. It's not small. A 243 is great for a woman, a small frame man, or a child, and it'll do the job adequately on whitetail deer, big mule deer, and even elk as long as you choose the right projectile. Jennifer, that's a great question. This is a 50 caliber pneumatic rifle that is capable of shooting a heavyweight pellet, delivering incredible energy. The Dragon Claw also shoots specialized shotgun shells that pattern well enough for small game and birds. And this air rifle is able to send an arrow at a blistering speed of nearly 500 feet per second. Holy smokes, that was awesome. That was awesome. That was cool. All right, what I'm going to do is I am going to introduce you to this rifle. First off, it's a 50 caliber. This is a 50 caliber big bore air rifle, and it is filled up right here. So we filled up this is air chambers right here. Okay, the reservoirs right here underneath the barrel itself. Okay, so we pressurized it right there, and what we're going to do, we're going to be shooting this projectile out of it. Now you may be wondering, an arrow out of a 50 caliber air gun? Yes, I'm going to show you how it works. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go, and Brad and I are going to both hunt for big deer up here in Canada using this. Okay, on the bottom of the forend, you'll notice this. Okay,
got a gauge.
It's got a gauge. Okay, and what the gauge is for, it's going to tell you how much pressure is in the reservoir here. All right, so what we're going to do, I want to show you if we were going to shoot what they call a pellet.
Yep.
Okay, a 50 caliber projectile. You would load it right here. What you would do is you take the projectile, stick it in here, and push it forward, and then you pull this sleeve back, just like that. Okay, but loading an arrow is completely different. What we're going to do, we're going to set it down here on the ground, and we're going to take an arrow, and if you take a good close look at that arrow, you're going to look at it and go, that doesn't look like any arrow you've ever seen before. Looks like a crossbow bolt, but it is a special arrow that is made for shooting in this air rifle. What we're going to do, we're going to set it in here. We lubricate that O-ring. There's a little bit of lube on it now. We stick it in like this, and now we're going to grab the vanes and we're going to start spinning them a little bit like this, just to kind of get them started. Once we get it started, we're going to go ahead and push it all the way in, just like that. Now, you'll notice on the side of the stock, I've got my dope chart right here.
Yep.
All right, and so from 20 to 30 yards, you hold it on the primary crosshair. All right, that's going to be 35, 40, 45, and 50. I have not shot this past 50 yards, but I promise you, it shoots so fast. This rifle right here is shooting close to 500 feet per second with an arrow. Wow. And that's faster than any compound bow, any crossbow on the market. So what we're going to do, we're going to cock it, we're going to put it on safe, and now I want you to get up here on the bench, and I want you to take a shot with it. Make sure to take a look at the dope chart. Fire in the hole. I want you to watch the arrow hit through the scope. Holy smokes.
What?
I didn't even see it.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Pulsar, Nemo Arms, Legends Ranch, the entire line of Food Saver Game Saver vacuum sealing systems, Record Rack Deer and Elk Feed, and FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination.
The weather, as you can see, has been unseasonably warm. We ain't got no snow on the ground, the temperatures have been above freezing, and the free range hunts were hard, and the preserve hunts are just as hard. Woody River Trophy Hunts is a wildlife preserve. It's built in the river bottoms here in Saskatchewan along the Woody River. It's got a mixture of aspens, willows, spruce. It's very thick. The deer love it. They do very well there. Game camera pics show that most of the deer activity is happening at night. The method of choice for hunters is really what they prefer. We take rifle, muzzleloader, bow, crossbow, anything that's a legal method to take a whitetail deer with. In our preserve, we can even hunt with a dragon claw. It'll be very interesting to see how this works. The hunts that we offer are semi-guided hunts. We take you out in the morning, we drop you off at the stand. You're out there by yourself, you get to take the deer you want to take. It don't matter what he scores, don't matter what he looks like. It's the trophy that you believe is the one you want to take home with you.
This weather got chilly, really chilly. This morning, Brad sat in this spot right here and said that he saw quite a few deer, but nothing that really tripped his trigger, so to speak. But the sun came out and we're going to stay put here till dark. Meanwhile, Brad is a pretty good long hike away from here, and he's going to see if he can get lucky with that air rifle. Now, he was asking me as far as a pass-through. He says, you think he'll get a pass-through? I honest to goodness, I believe that it would be impossible wherever you hit a deer to not get a pass-through. That's how much energy that arrow has. So, anyway, we're sitting here till dark, or hopefully earlier, and see what happens.
Weather has been cool, but the sun just came out. The rut is on, and so is our rifle to put the next one down. Just heard Brad shoot. I have not seen a deer yet. I mean, this field is empty. If he stays put, I may have a chance of seeing a deer. If he doesn't, and he gets out, he may mess things up. So I don't know if he's going to stay put or not. Here he comes back. Dang, look at that. I cannot believe that.
I just heard Keith shoot. It can't be more than 10 minutes since I just took my buck. That's incredible. Keith radioed me and told me to stay put, but I ain't listening. I'm gonna go see my buck.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by PyramidAir.com, Liberty Safe. Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%. Castle Rock Outfitters and opticsplanet.com.
I cannot believe that. I looked up, here he comes again. Holy smokes.
I just heard Keith shoot. It can't be more than 10 minutes since I just took my buck. That's incredible. Keith radioed me and told me to stay put, but I ain't listening. I'm gonna go see my buck. Oh my gosh. Look at the size of this deer.
Oh my gosh. Would you look at this beautiful Canadian whitetail deer?
He is an old deer, and this gray color on him is so unique. I never saw a deer out here that had this coloring. He is old and thick and just a gnarly good deer.
What a gorgeous animal. Look at this. I mean, he's so beautiful, but if you take a good close look at that, that is actually not a drop tine. It doesn't look like to me. I mean, it looked like it when he was walking in. When I saw him walking around, it looked like a drop tine coming down, but it's not a drop. It actually looks like a point that just somehow during the antler growing, it bent down, it broke down and stayed attached. But would you look at this? He's a big bodied deer.
Look at the mass, guys. Look at the mass on him. Oh my gosh, kickers, stickers, everything on him. Gnarled at the base. These bases are like tree trunks.
I mean, this right here is, you know, the cool thing about coming to Lance's up here at Woody River Whitetails is the fact that he's got some of the best genetics on earth.
This is just a deer of a lifetime. This is why Keith kept getting me, wanting me to come to Canada to see this. I'm overwhelmed. This is a deer of a lifetime.
What a monster whitetail. If y'all want more information on hunting up here at Woody River Whitetails with Woody River Trophy Hunts, you can get a hold of Lance Miller. We'll have a direct link off of our website, the Woody River Trophy Hunts website, or you can log on to their website directly, shoot Lance an email, he'll get back with you. And you know, I've talked to him about the kind of hunters that come up here, and how's this for absolutely wonderful?
Unbelievable. Everybody thinks, you know, has a different reason for being a deer hunter. For me, it's being in deer camp. Yes, I want to harvest a beautiful buck, but more importantly to me is doing life with people that I love and care about. So the joy of the hunt for me is sitting around at night, maybe having a glass of wine, maybe a cigar here and there, and just talking about the things of life that are meaningful, building relationship and going deep in those relationships. And for me, that's the joy of the hunt.
The average hunter we have coming up here is the working class, the blue collar, the hard-working man who saves his money, and that's why our hunts are so successful. If you'd like more information hunting with us at Woody River Trophy Hunts, you can go on our website at woodyrivertrophyhunts.com and contact me via email.
Now that I got him on the ground, I really see how big he really is. He is massive.
Look at that. How's that for shot placement? Right through both shoulders, and he didn't go but about 45 yards. Hunting in Saskatchewan has been something I've been doing for decades, and it's a place that I look forward to coming every year. Although hunting continues to change over time, the lure of this beautiful land hasn't. It's big, it's beautiful, and it's a perfect place for the whitetail hunter to fulfill his dreams. Having Brad join me on this trip was great. Like me, Brad loves every minute of the hunt because it truly isn't about killing animals. It's about the entire hunting experience. And we call that the joy of the hunt.
That is the Lord's provision right there, buddy.
FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination, presents The High Road with Keith Warren.
We hunt for different reasons, but it's more than just the kill.
First off, I'm grateful to be an American, to live in a country that still has a country like this.
It's about the experience, freedom, passion, and adventure. I'm Keith Warren, and like you, I live for the hunt.
How's Sam doing?
Good, Keith. How are you doing?
Good to see you. We're driving about an hour up the road, pulling to deer hunting paradise. Ooh, I'm glad you got the heater on. It's Christmas season in the North Woods of Michigan, everybody. And if you want to know where I am, well, it's simple where I am. I'm at the finest hunting lodge in North America. I'm at the Legends Ranch, and it's snowing outside like crazy. It could not be more beautiful. And we're heading out right now to check zero on the rifle, and we'll get our hunt started in the morning. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this loaded up. You know, I've been using this rifle. This is a 300 Win Mag made by Legendary Arms Works. And I've been using it all season long and taking down literally, I don't know how many animals with it. I love this rifle. And one thing that I want to do is I want to give a name to every one of my good rifles. And this rifle right here, I want you to help me give a name to it. And so if you would, get on my Facebook page and let me know what you think I ought to name this thing, because I tell you what, when I pull the trigger, something goes down. Right now, what we're gonna do, we're 100 yards away from the target. It is snowing like crazy. I love it. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a shot and just see where it is. We'll get the hunt started tomorrow, but right now it's time to make sure the gun's still zeroed in. But if you'd help me name this rifle, I sure would appreciate it. Pretty nice right there. All right, it looks like it's dead on. Okay, folks, again, I need you to help me name my rifle. It's a 300 Win Mag made by Legendary Arms Works, and I need to have a name. So if you go to my Facebook page right now, and if we choose your name as the name that we're going to name this guy right here, what we'll wind up doing, heck, I'll send you a whole case of Tannerite.
I'm Sam Reed with Legends Ranch. It's the first week of December, and we are very excited to have Keith back in camp this week. It's snowing out like crazy. It's the first big snowfall of the year. It's the tail end of the rut, and this snowfall that we're getting can just make anything happen. We got Keith's rifle all dialed in and zeroed. We're gonna start the hunt first thing in the morning and hopefully knock a big buck down.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Reconyx, 10X High Performance Hunting Gear, Legendary Arms Works, Sightmark, Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%, and Tannerite. The High Road will be right back.
I started thinking about it over the last, well, close to 20 years. I've hunted Legends Ranch, I don't know how many times. And it's always been an absolutely beautiful place. But on this hunt, well, the weatherman has said that we got some snow coming, and I hope he's right. We got some sunshine now, so I don't know if we're gonna have snow later on in the hunt or not. But right now, let me tell you, the snow has made a beautiful ranch
the most beautiful ranch I've ever been to in my life.
I'm Robert Sergi, the ranch director of Legends Ranch, and it's Christmas season. This is the time of year we're wrapping up the season, and we're glad to have Keith back. Every one of our hunts is guided, and this week Keith is hunting with Adam, who has been guiding for us for about 7 years.
My name is Adam, and this week I have the pleasure of guiding Keith. A couple months ago, Keith came up here with his daughter Maddie, and we had a great time.
That was October, and since October, well, the leaves have fallen and old man winter is setting in. And I come back and there's snow on the ground, and it is cold. And the deer, well, the deer are just as big, just as beautiful, just as plentiful, and now it feels like hunting weather.
It's the second week of December up here, and the first rut is over, but with this weather coming in this week, we're expecting the second rut to start anytime. The first set Keith and I went to was called Island Blind. There's a moat going all the way around. We need a bridge to cross it. And you can see about 1,700 yards there. It's the furthest place you can see on the property.
I've never sat in this stand before. This is what they call the Island Blind. And this is a really pretty spot.
Island Blind is wide open. You can see a long ways, but the challenge there is the grass. If they're laying down, you're not gonna see them. You gotta wait till they stand up, and then it's even tough to see them then.
Losing light quick. This time of year, the days are so short, and so far, the deer activity, it really has been slow. Really surprising for me too, because we had a good amount of light snow last night, and I would have thought that the deer would be moving, but they just didn't move this afternoon.
A lot of people that come here have hunted on hunting preserves all over the world, and it's for that reason that they've chosen this place. But some of the people that come here have never hunted in a hunting preserve before, and it's interesting to hear what they have to say after they've been to Legends.
My name's Tim Chinchor. I'm from Central Florida. I own an electrical contracting firm. This is the first time I've ever seen anything like this. The place is amazing. I brought my wife. She really enjoyed herself. She really relaxed, you know, pampered, well taken care of. It's not just coming here, shooting a deer, and that's the end of it. It's the whole experience. Great guides, food's fantastic. 3 meals a day that you would die for. And looking forward to coming here again, and many more times.
Got a nice breeze this morning. All right, we're good to go. We don't get weather like this in Texas very often. Thank goodness. It's cold. That's a pretty buck right there. You can just tell he's young. Boy, but he's got a pretty frame. Late risers this morning.
If you're looking to go roughing it someplace, and I mean someplace where, you gotta really dig down deep to really want to get out of bed in the morning to go hunt, don't come to Legends Ranch, because when you come here, you're not gonna believe it. You're gonna wake up and they're gonna have you a great breakfast and hot coffee and everything, and they're gonna take you and put you in a really nice, comfortable stand. And afterwards, you'll come back in and they'll cook a wonderful lunch. The lunch is a big meal. On the wall, there's going to be a little placard up there telling you what lunch is going to be. You're going to be able to see it, and you're actually going to be looking forward to it while you're sitting out there in the stand. After lunch, a lot of people wind up taking a nap. I mean, this time of year, the days are kind of short. And so what we want to do is we want to come in and eat lunch and get right back out in the stand. That way we have as much time in the stand as possible during these short days.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Pulsar, Nemo Arms, Legends Ranch, the entire line of Food Saver Game Saver vacuum sealing systems, Record Rack Deer and Elk Feed, and FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination. The High Road will be right back. Tannerite Binary Reactive Rifle Targets presents viewer feedback.
All right, this one comes to me. It's a snail mail. It comes to me from a lady by the name of Pam. She's from Illinois. She says, hey Keith, I'm new to hunting and I've been watching your show to learn as much as I can. I've heard you say it's pig 30 and it's deer 30 several times. What the heck does that mean? Pam, that's kind of just an old saying hunters do, at least the hunters I hang around with. That means like it's like in the next half hour something ought to happen. You know, half hour before sunset is a time that most animals start moving. So as things start, the sun goes down, it gets a little bit darker out there, it gets pig 30 or it gets deer 30, and that's what it's all about. If you've got a question and you want me to answer it here on the show, make sure to get a hold of me on a Facebook page. Just write it down, and if I answer it on the show, I'll answer it on the show.
The stand that we're going to this afternoon is going to look mighty familiar to me. The reason why is because 2 months ago I was here with Maddie. That's my little girl. I brought her up here to the Legends Ranch and she busted a giant buck out of it. So we're going to go back over there and see what happens this afternoon. So there. Got it about 3 hours before dark. Slid in here and we're going to see what happens.
You know, we always hit the blind and we're expecting a lot of action, and even at a place like Legends Ranch, they can't cue the deer to come in worth a darn. Nobody can. It's for that reason it's called hunting. But you get up early, you go out there and you hunt smart. You're quiet, you're patient, and you're waiting. And sometimes the snow.
We can see the bucks and the does back there in the brush, but with the second rut just kicking in, they don't really want to feed, so they're not coming to our field. So getting a shot through this brush is going to be really tough.
There's something going on back there in that brush. I can see an occasional antler back there, but I really can't tell. There's got to be a doe back in there that's hot. This weather's got the boys acting frisky this morning. Holy smokes, look at that buck right there. Look at him. The man just walked in. Holy smokes, look at him. Good gosh. I don't want to take that shot right there. Holy smokes. He's down in a ditch. Look at that. I cannot believe it. He's right behind all that brush. I can't do it. I got a dead steady rest. He just won't give me a shot. Okay, come on. Come on now. Stay on him. He's behind that tree, isn't he? That's what's going on. There's a doe back in there, and those bucks do not want to leave her alone. I can't take that shot. He's way back in there. A lot of brush. Yeah, too much brush. That's all right. As long as we stay put, we're good.
I've been seeing a lot of beautiful animals, and then all of a sudden I saw this deer, and I want that deer. The problem is he doesn't want to go home with me. I'm sitting here looking at him moving in and out of the thick, heavy cover. I watch him rubbing on trees, making scrapes, but I don't have a shot. And so I'm committed. I'm going to stay put in this stand, and I'm going to go home with him, or I'm going to go home empty-handed.
The High Road with Keith Keith Warren is presented by PyramidAir.com, Liberty Safe, Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%, Castle Rock Outfitters, and OpticsPlanet.com. The High Road will be right back.
We just had what may be the biggest typical buck I have ever seen in my life come in. He came in and did everything right except give me a shot. We've been sitting out for 3 days. Then all of a sudden, bam, something happened this morning, and it is going on. It's like somebody flipped a switch.
I think a lot of it has to do with that storm coming through tonight too.
Yeah.
And they just kicked him in gear again.
I mean, seriously, that's the biggest typical frame buck I've ever had my gun on. I just didn't have a good shot at him.
Definitely the dominant buck too. You see him chasing all the other deer off, making all these scrapes and playing with the branches.
And now, nothing. There's nothing out here. It's like they just took off. And so, anyway, we got plenty of coffee, we got a heater, and we're going to stay put. The morning is young.
One of the great things about hunting at Legends Ranch is you get to see so many deer and they're just being deer. You can see how they react with each other. You can see them making scrapes, making rubs. You can see the does making their pecking order. It's just phenomenal just watching deer being deer in the wild.
There's 2 more minutes of them in the brush. That's him right there.
The deer that's moving left, is that him? Yep. He looks like he wants to come this way.
He does. Taking his sweet time to get here though.
Naturally gonna take a sweet time. I can shoot him right through there, guys. You got him? Here goes. You there?
Yep.
He's down. He's down. What do you think of that?
That was awesome.
We've got a huge snowstorm coming in tonight, a huge one, coming off Lake Michigan. We've been hunting for the last 3 days out here, and literally we have not seen that. We've seen more activity today than all 3 days added together. I guess the cold front is what's got them going. And we saw that guy this morning. We got a ton of footage of him, but he was back in the brush. I couldn't get a shot. I had a headshot at him, but I could not take a good shot at him, so I wouldn't take it. I wasn't gonna risk it. And then all of a sudden we look up, he's coming right down through the trees where he was this morning. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. Holy cow. I had no idea this is how big he was. I mean, Legends Ranch is phenomenal. The deer are incredible. Look at this guy. And you know, that's the cool thing about coming to Legends Ranch. I've been coming up here for almost 20 years now. And I can tell you that it's not about just coming up and killing a big deer. It's about a big time. It's about the joy of the hunt. And you're gonna be able to see whitetails in the most pristine whitetail habitat ever, and be able to take your time and be patient and be able to savor it. And we appreciate you watching. And again, Adam, I appreciate you. And I appreciate the folks here at Legends Ranch more than you can imagine. And Mr. Whitetail, I really appreciate you too. This has been one heck of a hunt. And I guarantee you, I'll be back.
Look at the brow. Good inches.
Off the top here, celebration.
Oh, look at here, look at here.
Oh!
Nobody goes to the extreme that the folks do here at Legends about making people happy. From the meals, which are unbelievable, to the wait staff. The wait staff will wait on you hand and foot.
they've always got a fire lit. That's one of Robert's big things.
We have a covered fire pit. It's lit from sun up all the way to sundown. We really take advantage of it, and just the stories that are told around it and just the laughter. When you're laughing, you're having fun, and that's what it's about.
One of the interesting things about coming up here is I like to meet the people that come and talk to them where they're from and how long they've been coming up here. And some of these people have been coming up here to Legends just as long as I have been.
My name's Ted Moran, and I'm from Florida, and I've been coming to Legends Ranch for around 16 years. And it's one of the greatest experiences I've ever done. I've hunted all over the country, and Legends Ranch, it's not only the legendary game that you're hunting, it's the people, it's the experience, it's everything about this place. It's really incredible. You know, in Florida, you know, I'm a contractor. I do every facet of the job, and I literally, this year in particular, I worked 32 weeks, 7 days a week to come up here. It's worth that much to me. I absolutely love the place, and it's just, it's something to work for. Say it. Yeah, I love Legends Ranch.
And so when you leave here, you're leaving friends. And yeah, you got a big deer, but you had a big time. And I can't think of a better place to recommend Legends Ranch. It does not compare to any place else. It is on the top of my list.
If you have any questions or comments, get a hold of us on our website or on Facebook. I'm always on it, checking pretty much every hour on the hour, so I look forward to talking to you.
FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination, presents The High Road with Keith Warren.
We hunt for different reasons, but it's more than just the kill. First off, I'm grateful to be an American, to live in a country that still has country like this. It's about the experience, freedom, passion, and adventure. I'm Keith Warren, and like you, I live for the hunt.
Tannerite Binary Reactive Rifle Targets presents viewer feedback.
All right, hi Keith, my name is Jillian from Michigan. My question is about meat storage. My family takes lots of deer each year, and we always wind up throwing away our meat because it's freezer burned. We see you use the food saver and wonder, which unit would you recommend using for a family that takes lots of deer each year, and why? Jillian, great question. When you throw away freezer burned meat, I know the feeling. Years ago I used to do it, and I mean, it really ticks you off because it's just a waste. Well, one way you can prevent that from ever happening again is using a vacuum sealing system by Food Saver. Now, they make several different units. The one I use is the titanium. The titanium is used in the Warren household literally every single day. And the reason why I use that is because it keeps my meat freezer burn free for years, literally. And so what I would encourage you to do is, Jillian, you need to probably get a titanium unit. You need to use it all the time. And the thing you'll find out about the titanium versus all the other Food Saver units is titanium, you can't overheat it. I mean, I've done hundreds and hundreds of packages in a row, and it worked just as good on the last one as it did on the first one. But that's a great question. When it comes to controversy in the hunting industry, I guess I'm no stranger to it.
I'll tell you what, we're up here, we're going to be going after a big bull elk using a crossbow on today's show, so stick around.
For whatever reason, I feel that controversy can be good as it gets people to actually stop and think about things a bit more than normal. It's a time that can be contentious too, as it can upset some folks. But how else are we supposed to learn about new things? Doesn't somebody have to bring up controversial topics? This stuff right here will make any shooting experience very explosive. I guess the older I get, the more I realize that I like controversy, as it actually helps flush people out on where they stand on different subjects. Me choosing to do shows using the crossbow over 20 years ago was controversial, as many archers at the time were some kind of upset with me. They took shots at me continually, and yet I continued to promote them.
Now, 20 years later, virtually every major archery manufacturer has a crossbow. Decades ago, game cameras were controversial, as many hunters thought that they provided the hunter with an unfair advantage. Today, there are more game camera manufacturers out there than you can shake a stick at, and yet, still, there are people that feel these great hunting products provide hunters with an unfair advantage. Years ago, suppressors were not considered legal to use for hunting in many states. But today, more and more states have recognized that suppressors do have a place in the market.
Got it. Got it. Look at that. Look at that. That is a gigantic feral hog.
And they are now more accepted as legal hunting tools. So how do you define controversy? And more importantly, do you feel like it's important to have controversy in the hunting world? I've discovered that when hunters start deciding what in their minds is an acceptable hunting method, they close their minds down to all new possibilities that could exist. My job is to help inform hunters about the new products that are out there, how they work, and why it may be something they'd like to know more about. On today's show, I'll be using a new controversial product called the Dragon Claw rifle. This 50 caliber pneumatic air rifle is an incredible piece of equipment. Holy smokers! And one of the most exciting products I've ever seen enter the hunting space.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by PyramidAir.com, Liberty Safe, Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%, Castle Rock Outfitters, and OpticsPlanet.com.
I'm going to be hunting with one of the most incredibly...
Very well may be the first whitetail deer ever killed, ever, not just on video, but ever killed with the Dragon Claw.
Hunting with big bore air guns is not legal for hunting big game in much of the United States. And I think it's a shame, because I think it's an effective tool for sure. Now look at it, I think 20 years ago, crossbows weren't legal for hunting big game in the United States either. But look at it today. So my job is to go out there, use new products, evaluate them, and show you how effective they can be or may not be. And that's what I'm doing with the Dragon Claw rifle.
It's still a little bit too hot. The deer are still kind of in their summer pattern they're transitioning over, so it may be a while if we see one. Hopefully one will come in before dark.
This time of year, it's mid-September, and the deer activity is not really good right now. They're kind of getting to the point they want to move around a lot, but currently it's pretty warm up here in Saskatchewan, so they're kind of bedded down. How big he is. That is a big old buck right there.
Oh my Lord, look at that body.
I had no idea that he was this old. Look at this. My gosh almighty. This is a beautiful buck. Look at him. Look at the mass on this guy. Holy smokes. Oh my goodness, folks. I just can't get over the mass on him. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna push him up. I want y'all to see how big this guy is. He's got a huge body. He's got a huge body. This is a big old buck right here. And I mean, look at that. Look how big that deer is. I mean, a Saskatchewan whitetail buck right up here at Heartland Whitetails. Hold that deer's head right there, please.
You bet, you bet.
I took it using my big bore air rifle. Again, this is the Dragon Claw. It's sold online by Pyramid Air, and it is one of the most wonderful, controversial, I gotta say controversial, products to enter the hunting space in a long, long time. Folks, if y'all want more information on coming up here to Heartland Whitetails, what I want you to do is get a pencil and paper right now. Get it, and I want you to write down the telephone number that Al is gonna give you. I also want you to write down his website. So, okay, give him a telephone number.
Telephone number is 1-800-799-4305.
And your website?
And the website, www.heartlanddeer.com.
He got some gigantic deer. And if you're looking for a place to go and I mean really experience Canadian hunting and Saskatchewan hospitality, give Al a call and he and Joyce will take care of you. And I'll tell you what, I'm just stoked. This is so awesome. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Pleasure having you, Keith.
Oh my gosh, and look at this buck.
FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination, presents The High Road with Keith Warren.
We hunt for different reasons, but it's more than just the kill. First off, I'm grateful to be an American, to live in a country that still has country like this. It's about the experience, freedom, passion, and adventure. I'm Keith Warren, and like you, I live for the hunt. Hey everybody, I'm Keith Warren, and today on the High Road, we're heading to the finest hunting lodge in North America. And if you watch the show, you already know, that's the Legends Ranch up in Michigan. We'll be tagging along with some ladies as they enjoy some of the finest whitetail deer hunting in the country.
I'm Robert Sergi. I am the ranch director at Legends Ranch in Whitely, Michigan. We are really excited this week to have Keith Busking and his group of ladies. He bid on this hunt in Safari Club International back in February, where you could bring 6 ladies, and that's a big passion of ours to see if we can get more of the female hunters out and experiencing the thrill of the hunt.
I'm Keith Busking, Norman, Oklahoma. SCI member since probably 1999. The fact to offer a ladies hunt for 6 ladies, I've never seen that before, and I think it's a great plan on their part. I bid on it a couple times, or several times, and ended up buying it. I called Tom Zanalik, one of the other hunters here, or his wife's the hunter, Carol. Colleen and Jim were also along, and they said, we want in on this deal. So we already had 2 shooters right there. Then Ganella and Kate were at the show, and they signed up right away. Of course, Angie, she was the 5th shooter. We had the 6th shooter signed up multiple times or committed, and lost them as many times. I called Robert one day and I said, you know, this is really getting to be a lot of work. He called me back and said, no sweat, don't worry about it. He said, Angie can shoot 2, or you can shoot 1 if you want to.
After settling in at Legends' beautiful lodge, the ladies and their guests have a big lunch before Randy gives them a rundown for the week ahead.
One of my spiels on my speech at dinner is I tell them if we see a buck that they would love to shoot on Monday night, they better shoot it on Monday night, because maybe on Tuesday they're going to see it in the back of somebody's truck. When a person comes in and hunts at Legends Ranch, it's a little different type of hunting. You know, we're not going to go out and shoot the first buck we see. What we're doing here at Legends is a management program. We're looking for big, mature animals, and what our job is we are there just to advise you. You know, we're not going to tell you, you have to shoot this certain deer. We're going to go out, look at some animals, and we find one in our class or whatever, you know, we're going to score it up a little bit, and it's up to them if they want to harvest it or if they want to, you know, continue to hunt and look and see if they can do a little bit better.
Now these ladies are almost ready to hit the woods for the first evening hunt. But first things first, they head to the range to make sure their rifles are dialed in.
My name is Angie Knight, and I came as a guest and a friend of Keith Busking. I was really excited about it because Michigan just happens to be one of my favorite vacation spots in the whole world.
Good.
Dead center.
So you're in good shape.
I grew up hunting with my younger brother. We used to fish and take our dad's .22 out and just kind of pot shot. And then I met Keith Busking.
Okay, he's late. Let's go.
And he invited me about 4 or 5 years ago on a southern Texas hunt, and I became addicted all over again.
Actually, this week I've got a blind full of people. I've got Angie and then I've got Keith that are hunting with me. Keith is just accompanying her, and he wants to see her shoot, you know, harvest an animal, and then he'll think about taking one himself. We'll see what happens.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Reconyx, 10X High Performance Hunting Gear, Legendary Arms Works, Sightmark, Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%, and Tannerite. The High Road will be right back.
Angie and Keith are here on a ladies' hunt at Legends Ranch in mid-November. This is their first sit for the week, and they're about to see what makes Legends Ranch so legendary.
The end of the rut is happening right now, but it's still on a little bit, so we should see some good action. You guys are here for a second level management whitetail. We're looking for something up to 180 inches, 170 beautiful deer.
All right.
All he's doing is trying these stuff because out of their bucks out there. Look at it, they're bowing up. We get to watch him. Monday night we got out in the blind, had a good hunt like I was saying earlier. The rut has peaked and is sort of tailing down, but yet there's still some rut activity. So we had seen a lot of deer and just not the right one in that management category. So we're back here at the lodge for the evening. Gonna relax, we have dinner. We've got a fire pit, the gazebo that we sit under and tell stories. Everybody can talk about what happened in their hunt, you know, that night. That makes it really nice, and we'll just get back out there tomorrow morning and see what we can do.
I have a very dear friend, Bonnie Babcock. She was able to come down. It's about a 2-hour drive. I talked to Bonnie about coming out in the blind. She was a little bit hesitant as she thought Keith should be there, but he willingly gave up his spot, being the gentleman that he is.
Okay, have fun.
Deer movement this morning wasn't what we saw last night, but there were some really nice ones that came in, but it was just a little bit too foggy to really be able to tell.
A little foggy.
It was really foggy. So we're going to come back out again this afternoon and see what shows up.
It's supposed to clear up and be a real nice evening, so I think things will probably happen this evening. We got back in the blind on Tuesday night, and deer were moving once again. We were probably there, an hour and a half or so, and we had some bucks messing around out in front of us, nothing that we could harvest. And I looked out the side of the window to the left-hand side, and I seen this buck. I had to lean way over and get him in the binoculars, and I thought to myself, this is probably one we're going to take.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by Pulsar, Nemo Arms, Legends Ranch, the entire line of Food Saver Game Saver vacuum sealing systems, Record Rack Deer and Elk Feed, and FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination. The High Road will be right back. Tannerite Binary Reactive Rifle Targets presents viewer feedback.
All right, this one comes to me off of our YouTube channel from a viewer in Oregon. Her name is Mary. She says, my neighbor is letting his little boy shoot guns and I'm scared because he's so young. How old do you think a kid needs to be before they're old enough to shoot a gun responsibly? Mary, I don't think that age has anything to do with how old somebody needs to be before they can shoot a gun responsibly. It all is taught. I think you ought to be happy that your neighbor is actually teaching their child to do it responsibly. You know, we all learn somehow, whether it's tying your shoes or driving a truck or shooting a firearm. And so I think that different people learn at different rates. I've seen 70-year-old men that can't handle a gun as well as some 10-year-old children. So it all really depends, and I encourage everybody, get kids around guns early, teach them responsible use of firearms. Mary, that's a great question, and thanks for watching on our YouTube channel.
Angie is on her third sit out here at the Legends Ranch, and tonight she's joined by her close friend Bonnie, who drove in to be with her. This evening's deer movement has been great, and they've seen some beautiful deer. The only problem is they're either still too young or outside the management.
So I said to them, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Sam said, you better hurry up because something's spooking them. And so I, 1, 2, 3.
Go ahead. Good hit. Rack another one, just in case he's not going to go anywhere.
I aimed and shot him and took him down with one shot. He ran about 100 yards and then we found him in the grass, and I was so happy, very happy.
Awesome buck.
Look at that.
That is awesome.
He's got character for sure.
Yes, he does.
Meanwhile, back at Angie's stand, they notice some deer coming in right behind them.
They're looking at something over here.
Their guide Randy peeks out to see a shooter walking in. But at the same time, 2 other bucks are leaving the field, and Randy's worried that they're going to pull the target buck away before they ever get a shot opportunity.
And there was about 5 minutes of extreme anxiety, thinking my buck was going to turn around and follow the other 2 bucks.
About that time, a doe comes running in and just ran past the blind right into the middle of the food plot, and the buck that I was looking at followed her in, so I told everybody to get ready. This is one I asked Angie, I says, look at this one in the binoculars. I said, this is a shooter. If you like it, it's yours.
That deer just come in. Yes, the one with his butt into us. How do you like him? Is he a shooter? Yeah. I can shoot him. Yeah, but we gotta let him get broadside. Right. Bonnie, you got your ears on. All right, whenever you're ready. Got him. He's down.
He's down.
He's down.
Oh, he's pretty, he's pretty. Gorgeous.
Nice shot, right
Thank
where
you.
you want it, right?
Thank you, thank you. Bonnie, come on. Come on, girlfriend, my Michigan deer, Michigan girlfriend. He is awesome. Look at that. He is beautiful. I just love it. Yeah. That is so cool.
Bonnie grew up in a family of hunters. Her brothers were the ones that hunted, which is typical for our age. And so it was heart-stopping, the excitement that we had. Actually, she was crying because she was just so excited. She said she didn't think it was anything like she expected. It was just a tremendous experience, knowing that both of us love to hunt. And then she got to be there when I made my first whitetail deer kill here in Michigan at Legends Ranch.
As they head back to camp, Angie and Bonnie find out that they're not the only successful hunters of the night, and that few people know how to celebrate like they do at Legends Ranch.
We came back into camp and they have this nice ceremony and they congratulate you, serve you champagne.
There were 4 of us women that had our deer that day. And so that was pretty exciting. We're taking pictures of each other's deer and we're touching their horns and we're looking at the different conformation of the racks.
I have never, ever had a group of people celebrate like they do here. I mean, as soon as you drive up with your deer in the back of the truck, everybody comes out, looks at your deer, you get high fives, you get congratulations, everybody toasts a glass of champagne, a great celebration. It just makes you feel great.
Everybody was just so happy and celebrating and congratulating, and it's like one big family taking pictures of everybody. It was just a very good feeling.
Yeah, I did have a friend email me today and he says, champagne and deer hunting really doesn't mix, but it does. Yeah. It's a great way to celebrate at the end of the day.
Since 4 ladies bagged their bucks on the same night, it leaves only 2 hunters left. Kate, the youngest of the crew, and Keith. They have 2 more days to seal the deal and will set out first thing in the morning to try to make it happen.
The High Road with Keith Warren is presented by PyramidAir.com, Liberty Safe, Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, 99%, Castle Rock Outfitters, and OpticsPlanet.com. The High Road will be right back.
It's Wednesday morning at Legends Ranch as Keith and Kate get ready to hit the woods. They're going to do all they can to make sure they don't go home on Friday empty-handed. While Keith is enjoying the chance to keep hunting, the others at the lodge don't seem to mind the extra time to relax and savor the camp life that Legends Ranch has to offer.
Well, Wednesday morning it was Keith's turn, and once again the fog was thick, but didn't happen on Wednesday morning or Wednesday evening. Good sets, a lot of deer, but just not the right ones. So Thursday morning we switched up a little bit. We set a different area. We set what we call the Cloverfield blind, and it was really a slow morning. We sat there probably till 8:30, quarter to 9, and it just wasn't happening. So we decided to get on foot and go see if we could run into something. And we'd been on the ground maybe about an hour, 45 minutes or something, and spotted this one buck, and I got him in the binoculars, and it looked like it was one we would take, you know, something that was in our class. So had about 300 yards between us and him, and not a lot of stuff to hide behind. So we were down behind logs, we were crouching, we were crawling, we were keeping trees between us, and I got us up to about 150 yards. You know, at the time we got up to it where we could take the shot. It was unfortunate, but we, you know, just the circumstances, we couldn't get the camera on the deer. He's up now.
He's down.
Yep.
Keith was able to take it, and it worked out well. Really nice buck.
That's what you call teamwork now.
You got it done. Concerted effort here. This guy was a little elusive. Had him happen to spot him, and we got on him, and just sort of stalked as far up as we could, and it was still quite a shot. Keith put him down.
Congratulations. Thank you very much, guys.
I'm gonna go.
Yes, sir.
Very good, Keith. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir.
Fantastic adventure the way it all. Thank you.
Everybody was, you know, taking pictures in the parking lot of Keith's deer. All of a sudden, we hear a shot out back. Kate had decided to set the bow down and pick up a rifle because it was the last afternoon, and it wasn't too long after, about a half hour after, and she came with a beautiful whitetail that she harvested with a rifle. So.
Well, what was funny was when the guys started all honking their horns as we're driving in, and it felt like a parade of celebration that Kate got her deer.
The women's hunting group here at Legends Ranch had an immediate camaraderie.
Cheers! Congratulations!
Because we were laughing the whole time when friends would say, "You're going to Michigan to hunt?" I go, "Yeah, we get to hunt, and the men get to observe or stay and go to the spa for the day." And everybody's just laughing about it.
They can't take credit for the female. That's right.
The team here at Legends Ranch has reached a big milestone this year. We have hosted over 20 female hunters, and we can't be more excited about that.
We pride ourselves in just making this a family atmosphere. We want people to feel so comfortable, let their guard down when they're here, shut their cell phones off, just have a good time, relax.
I liked the guides being a part of the group because it was all like one big family. And the guides weren't separate from us, everybody was together.
You know, we as clients get to know the staff better, the staff gets to know us better, and kind of figure out sometimes we're a bunch of nuts, and it's a great deal.
Robert and Arthur being there also just made it so homey and not like, well, that's the owner and they're gonna have their own little corner. They were with everybody. And the staff here is wonderful.
You end up with 15, 16 people around the campfire at night. Everybody is talking and laughing, and somebody's bringing out, you know, coffee or drinks or something, and snacks, and I don't think I've been catered to like that before.
That's right there is what sets us apart. Everybody that we have here on staff at Legends Ranch have the right attitude that we're going to make everybody that comes in here part of our family for the week that we're here.
We love that family atmosphere here. With the ladies this week, we know that some of them are already making plans to come back, and that's exactly what we strive for. And we just look forward to building these bonds and relationships every year. If you're interested in booking a hunt with us at Legends Ranch, please give us a call at 231-745-8000 or visit us at legendsranch.com. Whether you're new to hunting or an experienced hunter, we're excited for you to join us at the ranch.
FreedomMunitions.com, your online ammunition destination, presents The High Road with Keith Warren.
We hunt for different reasons, but it's more than just the kill.
First off, I'm grateful to be an American, to live in a country that still has country like this.
It's about the experience, freedom, passion, and adventure. I'm Keith Warren, and like you, I live for the hunt.
Certainly has been a pleasure sharing part of our day with you. Go out and stay safe, everybody. Come back and see us again real soon. Welcome to Grand Rapids.
This is going to be a really special weekend because I'm hunting with my favorite hunting partner.
And this is Maddie.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
She's been my favorite hunting partner now for 21 years.
This weekend's really special because it's my 21st birthday and we're going to Legends Ranch to hunt. I love to hunt, I've always heard about Legends. That's one of the joys of having something in common with my dad, because we both love to hunt, we love the outdoors, and we love spending time together doing it. So I can't think of a better way to spend my 21st birthday. My first impression of Michigan was that it was freezing. It was a lot colder than it was in Texas, but as we were driving around, I saw how pretty it was, and driving into Legends, you see the beautiful colors and the scenery. But when we got out of the car and I shook everyone's hands, I also felt like I was at home because everyone was so genuine. I could tell already the weekend at Legends was going to be a really special one.
Maddie's birthday falls in the middle of October, and that's the time of year that I'm always on the road. It's also the time of year the colors are absolutely beautiful up in the North Woods.
Legends Ranch is amazing because they not only have beautiful deer, but the place is beautiful. They've got a gorgeous lake, they have beautiful fall colors.
So there's no prettier place to take Maddie because it's beautiful, and the deer, well, the deer just speak for themselves.
I'm Robert Sergi with Legends Ranch in Bitely, Michigan. Well, we're a whitetail deer hunting ranch. We harvest deer from all different sizes, and we like to have people come out here for a true hunting experience and try to create lifelong memories.
I've been coming to Legends Ranch for, well, about 20 years. I took Maddie's older brother Colton to the Legends Ranch years ago, and it was a special occasion then too. It was kind of a carrot I dangled in front of him for a long time. Said, if you do good in school and you make nothing but A's, I'll take you to Legends Ranch. And he made nothing but A's, and I had to take him to Legends Ranch. That was pretty cool. Come on, let's go.
Squeeze the trigger when you're ready. Good shot. Good job, Clay. That is a 200-pound buck. We'll be back right after this.